Hetrick, who's been pushing his way onto the Pro Tour, and the old school Josh Ravitz.
Absolutely. So Hetrick is playing Nyapod. This is actually a deck that I would have liked to play if I happened to play in this tournament. Basically, it's got a lot of ramp creatures. It's got Avacyn's Pilgrim and Birds of Paradise, and then it has Blade Splicers, Elvish Visionaries to pod from, and they pod up to Restoration, Angel, Thragtusk, Zealous Conscripts, and Sun Titan.
Josh Ravitz with a blue-white Delver, hyper-aggressive with Mirran Crusader and Spectral Flight. We're underway, a turn 2 Birthing Pod off of a Bird of Paradise. Really huge. Birthing Pod being on the table is a big deal. Now Josh has to actually bring forth a kill before that pod takes over. And he has 2 Delvers in play, but they're unflipped.
Okay, so it looks like...
There's that bird again.
Hetrick plays 3 Scars lands. Actually, one of the things that people will...
Wow. Oh. He just crossed his fingers and said go. He knows the risk. And the worst possible thing happened. Michael Hetrick passes. Josh Ravitz reveals a gut shot, flips both Delvers, and then gut shots the birds.
Wow. It's taking Hetrick down to 10. This game is like on a really fast track to in Ravitz's favor.
And it's funny, Hetrick, I think, wanted to indicate to all of us he knew the risk he was taking.
So he played a Cavern. I think the Cavern is probably on Angel because he just played it, but Ravitz actually has the
Vapor
Baby
Snag. I think this puts Hetrick down to 3.
Yeah, this is a...
Yeah, he's at 3. Michael Hetrick at 3 life now.
Yep.
Scoops it up. You blinked and it was done. Wow. So we said when Michael Hetrick, he had the amazing start. One of the best starts for a pod list is a turn 2 pod. And as I said, what Josh Ravitz has to do now is close the game out before that goes crazy.
Mm-hmm. And he did. Delivery. So Hetrick, after sideboard, actually has a few options. He has a Stingerfling Spider that he will definitely bring in. It's something he can pot into that will kill a Delver, will kill an Angel if... An Angel, actually, Josh Ravitz does not have Restoration Angel in his deck. The other things he can consider bringing in is Manic Vandal. What he won't realize is that Josh Ravitz does not have equipment in his deck, which is a traditional hallmark of these Delver decks.
Instead, Ravitz is going with Spectral Flight. So the super fast version of equipment, you know, essentially, he doesn't have to equip anything. He just puts it on there immediately and goes to town. And he's helped out in this with a Mirran Crusader, which very, very good against a green-based deck like Michael Hetrick's.
Yep. So the other cards that Hetrick has available is Dismember, which again is like pretty rough to play against an aggressive deck. A Feed Hunter, and that's probably it. It's possible he brings in Elish Norn. Elish Norn is very good, but it's very slow in this matchup, but does happen to deal with all the cards that are in Ravitz's deck. In Ravitz's sideboard, he has access to Phantasmal Image, which is actually very good against like the ramping creatures of Hetrick.
And he can also do things like copy a Thragtusk, which can be a very big deal when Hetrick is using Thragtusk to try to change a race.
Yeah, there's some other options that some people might consider. To negate, unfortunately, negate only gets the Birthing Pod, so it's probably not worth it. Dissipate, like has a chance of like countering some important cards. The flip side is there's a lot of mana ramping in Hetrick's deck, which can like basically race the Dissipate. Also, he has Cavern Souls, so it really kind of turns that off.
I think what I would expect from Josh Ravitz is Josh is probably going to bring in 1 Mental Misstep, 1 Revoke Existence, and 3 Phantasmal Images, and leave the rest alone, though. Primarily because his plan is to be an aggressive build of the deck, and he wants to just get that done. You'll note, looking at Hetrick's list, we have it in front of us, Ravitz's list. Ravitz has 0 mana leaks, so he's not planning on trying to do any of that controlling elements in that way. He's planning on pushing the mana element with Gutshot Vapor Snag. So, let's see where we go. It's going to be Michael Hetrick on the play here after that trouncing in game 1.
Yeah, it looks like he has a good start. He has a Razor's Edge Thicket, and Avacyn's Pilgrim. So that's the most important thing, to basically play an untapped land into a mana accelerator. Ravitz looks like he has 2 Geist of St. Traft, a Ponder in Island, and a Taxian Probe, which he just cast. So we get a better look at Hetrick's hand. Hetrick's hand is Forest, Blade Splicer, Cavern of Souls, Avacyn's Pilgrim, and a Thragtusk. Thragtusk is particularly good against Blue-White Delver because Vapor Snag still results in a 3/3.
Yep. And with Cavern of Souls in the mix, assuming you have the luxury of holding on to it, when you can guarantee the Thragtusk hitting play, that's just monstrous.
Yeah, it's a big swing your way. Still have the 3/3. I mean, like, if it kills it, plenty of options there. So we see a Ponder. It's a full-out Ponder by Ravitz. Josh has a habit of actually having the premium versions. I don't mean like foil versions, but like the nicest, like oldest images of a lot of these cards.
I've always been partial to whatever is my favorite art, and I know Patrick Sullivan, he says he likes taking the literally oldest version of the card, first printing of whatever it is, though he made an exception for some Arabian mountains. Okay.
Blade Splicer for Hetrick. He just drew that. No, he had that in his hand.
And he's like, I got a token, just let me get it. And he's saying that because he does not want to get caught by the missed trigger problems that could happen if he doesn't declare it.
Absolutely.
I'm not sure if that's one of the ones you can't miss or not.
I think you can currently miss it, but they've just changed the rules to allow that. As of October 1st.
That was a lapsing effect. So shortly, I don't know how the new rules are going to work, but during the current rules, Michael did not want to miss that. In big beats here for 5.
So in this game, Hetrick seems to be the aggressor here. Josh plays a Vapor Snag to
take that token.
Remove the Golem. Okay. Looks like he's just playing a lot of mana creatures. We do know that he has a Cavern of Souls and a Thragtusk in his hand, so almost definitely we'll see it.
Boom!
Wow.
Pro green, pro black, mostly the green mattering here.
Yeah, no, so that really like stops all the attacks from Hetrick here. Even when he does finally get down his Thragtusk, he won't be able to attack very profitably with it.
Now, if Ravitz is able to have a card like Spectral Flight in the mix, remember, the double strike here is incredibly effective.
So Hetrick just drew a Restoration Angel, which he's doing he's blinking the Blade Splicer to get another Golem again.
Now, he's doing that immediately because he does not want to get hit by a mana leak. And he does not know Josh Ravitz has 0 mana leaks.
He knows the Thragtusk will eventually get down, so he's not like in a hurry to put it down because it's not really going to present any like present threat to.
You can see Michael Hetrick on the left here. Michael is perhaps most well known as Shipit Hala from Magic Online.
Yeah, he's basically the next of a new breed of Magic player, like primarily like a Magic Online grinder. Like there's been a lot of players in the last few years, Brad Nelson, Reed Duke, who have been popularized by Magic Online.
And we see Snapcaster getting a Ponder. A quick shout out today to Magic tournament organizer Barrett Moy. Happy birthday if you're out there watching. Old school Magic players from the Midwest up until even recent times will know Barrett Moy. Happy birthday, Barrett. And we get an island after that ponder.
Yeah, so it looks like Josh has a, I think another Snapcaster, a Gut Shot, and a Vapor Snag, in addition to two, or maybe there aren't, I thought there were two Geist of St. Traft, but...
Geist of St. Traft is another card that Josh Ravitz can use Spectral Flight with very profitably.
So Hetrick attacks with his Angel and a Golem. Both will trade with... Okay, so he draws the Vapor Snag.
Take that, token.
Even though it has double strike, Hetrick, Ravitz would have lost his Crusader. Oh, so Hetrick drew another Angel, creating another Golem.
Wow.
So
from this position, yeah. Josh Ravitz on the back foot in a big way.
Yeah, he really, like, he does have Snapcasters that can get rid of the Golem tokens. So I don't think the Golem tokens are the thing that's worrying him. I think it's much more the Angels. If he is able to, like, perhaps get a Spectral Flight onto the Crusader, he may be able to, like, you know, present a better defense against it. Okay.
Michael Hetrick untaps.
So it looks like Ravitz played a Snapcaster with a Gitaxian Probe, just looking for an answer. Oh, Fiend Hunter.
Ouch.
Fiend Hunter is going to eat up that that Crusader, basically allowing all the 1/1s that were previously getting blocked to attack.
Here comes the team.
Yeah, he doesn't care about trading those mana creatures into the 2/1s of the 2/1 Snapcasters. Okay, Ravitz concedes.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things he's in a situation here, what is his road to recovery? His deck is not built to come back that far from a race. He's planning on being the aggressor, and the only way he's going to win versus Michael Hetrick in that situation is if he basically plays cards he doesn't have in his 75 cards.
Yeah.
Like,
so
I shouldn't say not even as though he should have it, but there aren't cards like Day of Judgment or Gideon or anything like that that push a deck more into a mid-rangey space. He's pure aggro, basically.
Josh Ravitz is a player from New Jersey, actually quite good friends with John Finkel, and like he's kind of, I would say, almost apprenticed with Finkel there, and like very much a PTQ grinder. He's probably played in like probably over a dozen Pro Tours.
I was gonna say he's got about a dozen, maybe even a little bit more Pro Tours under his belt. I mean, I've definitely sat next to him at player meetings, so, which tells you how long ago it's been.
Hetrick, so obviously his latest claim to fame is winning the Open last week. He in the Legacy portion, he played blue-white Miracles, blue-white-red Miracles.
Now I forget, is Patrick Sullivan from New Jersey as well?
Yes.
Okay, so what I guess we're looking at here, Patrick Sullivan currently lives in California, but is Hetrick going to take down yet another Jersey boy?
New Jersey is actually has been the home for a very strong Magic contingent.
Absolutely. I mean, for a very long time, right since the beginning.
Yeah. Even though John Finkel lives in New York, he's actually, I believe, originally from Jersey.
That's true. Well, I'm 90% sure that's true. My apologies if it's not.
Gerard Fabiano is also from Jersey.
I've already brought this up earlier in the weekend, but Gerard Fabiano, the highest ranked planeswalker in the United States, our only level 50 planeswalker.
Mm-hmm. He might actually, I think he holds the record for most DCI matches played, and as a result of that, in some ways, most DCI matches lost.
This is true. Gerard will tell you he has lost more Magic than anyone else. But he's also won more Magic than almost anyone. Now, it's actually funny because I was talking earlier about just that Planeswalker points and how that kind of shows you how much Magic people have played. And I believe Robert Martin was asking, oh, you mean even more than LSV? And I believe that Gerard has something like 7,000 or 8,000 more Planeswalker points than LSV. But what's crazy is that Shuhei Nakamura has about 15,000 more than Gerard.
It's incredible. Absolutely incredible there.
Now to game 3. Josh Ravitz on the play.
Okay. Ravitz looks like he's keeping, and Hetrick is mulliganing. Hetrick, like speaking of like origins, is from kind of Northern California. He's actually part of a contingent with Ricky Sitter and Shahar Shenhar. Like they're like some very up and coming, very strong Magic players. Like Shahar's already won 2 Grand Prix. Yeah,
and actually, interestingly enough, for a couple of the last Pro Tours, that group has worked closely with an otherwise very insular group, the Minnesota Magic scene, that is largely under the, I would say, direction of ringleader Matthias Hunt. And Matthias said, you know, we weren't sure if we wanted to work with people that weren't from the Minnesota area, but you know, we had a really great time working with Hetrick and with Shenhar and that whole crowd. So.
Yeah, and Matthias Hunt, obviously, he was Rookie of the Year last year. And I think it's almost a necessity, basically, for some of these players to work in teams. I mean, when you have to deal with the like Star City Games teams as well, and like Channel Fireball's teams, you have to like basically like group up, find the best deck, work on your skills together. That's the best way to kind of like beat these big formats.
Having talked to Matthias quite a lot about this, Matthias feels like his group is up and coming, and they're going to be a force to be looked out for. But now the match at hand, Josh Ravitz on the right, Michael Hetrick on the left. Josh opens up with the Delver, and then the bird is answered by a mental misstep for turn 1s.
It's a huge deal getting kind of like your bird killed or countered.
And are we going to see the snappy misstep here?
It's very, very possible. He has another bird in hand, and he does have a Snapcaster in hand, so I think he'll probably do it if he has the option to. Because it also gets another creature in play.
And Josh Ravitz says, okay.
Oh, so maybe he doesn't have... Oh, no, he does not have a Snapcaster in hand. He has 2...
Vapor Snag
2 Vapor Snags.
And then I see a Geist of St. Traft. Is that what I saw there as well?
Yes, that's right.
So he could potentially get a really strong beatdown going. Take 1, Michael Hetrick.
I'm sure Geist is coming down here.
Now it's going to be take 7 or 9 next turn.
Yeah, so I think Josh has 2 more cards in hand. 1 a Vapor Snag, 1 a Delver, if I saw correctly. Hetrick still doesn't have that bird down, despite casting it like 2 times.
1 bird down, 1 bird up. Blade Splicer.
Blade Splicer really good against them.
Oh boy. Flips a probe open to the Delver. Yeah, Blade Splicer great against Geist. Casts for mana the probe. I'm surprised by that.
So we get to see the hand. There is a Restoration Angel, a Cavern of Souls, the Bird of Paradise that's been bounced,
and an Elvish Visionary.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure...
It's a good hand for Michael Hetrick.
Yeah, because he'll probably name Angel on his Cavern, getting that down, even though Josh can't counter it anyway.
Now, the best possible play Josh could have, I think, is a Spectral Flight right now.
Yeah, but he does have a Snag, which will probably hit the Golem right now, because it will allow him to attack with his Geist. The only problem with that is that the Angel will definitely come down, recreating that Golem.
That's what he's considering. Is it worth the damage now? And he says, I guess so. In. And that is going to be... I don't think Michael can block here for the 2 life, so that means he's going to take 7, 9, and go to 8.
Now, Ravitz has another Delver in his hand. So,
and then he's out of gas.
It's
all on the table. Like his hand is completely empty. So Michael Hetrick here This is the turn where he needs to lay the Angel and then hope nothing goes wrong.
Yes, but there's a lot of things could go wrong here. There could be a Snapcaster, another Vapor Snag.
A Pondered into either of those cards.
Yeah.
And he does this now, rather than wait till end of your turn, because he doesn't want a gut shot to ruin the plan.
And he knows that Josh already knows about the Angel, so there's no surprises there.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow. The
Spectral Flight on the Geist.
It's the card.
And he might as well come in with a lot of stuff here.
Yeah, it's the card we've been talking about.
And that is it. Wow. Of the cards he could have drawn there that would have done it, Spectral Flight, Vapor Snag, Snapcaster for Vapor Snag,